What's going on, everybody? My name is Tech, and if you're new to the channel, I've been selling on eBay for over 15 years. I was the #1 seller of pre-owned men's clothing in the entire world. I have sold millions of dollars online. We are very fortunate these days. We are actually in New York City, and we've been here for about a month now. And we've seen a lot of great things, had a lot of great time. We just got back from California. We were out there for a couple of weeks. But sometimes I like to do these walk and talks, kind of talk to you guys, get a pulse on the community, see how you guys are doing, see how you guys are faring out with business. Because all I want to do is bring the most educational, most helpful, most informative videos that I can. So that way I can help your guys' business, help you guys make some money. Because at the end of the day, that is the game. Doesn't matter what the platform is, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, whatnot, or all of them at the same time. It doesn't matter. The money is just as green on every single platform that's out there. And I like to make educational videos to help you guys out, kind of achieve the dream the same way that I was able to do. It takes hard work, it takes tenacity. It's not overnight, it's not get rich quick. But you can definitely better your life, whether it's supplemental income or full-time income, whether you want to list 10 a day, 5 a day, a million a day, it doesn't matter. I just want to help you, a small part, in crushing that any way, shape, or form that I can. So I do like to make these walk and talk videos, see how you guys are doing. Drop a comment below. How are you guys doing? The summer slowdown should be nearing the end. We should kind of uptick a little bit. And when I had my eBay store world domination, 50,000 items, my best months, my busiest months were always November until right after tax time, April, May. Those were the best kind of 6 months that I had on the calendar. And depending on what you sell, your best time frame may be a little bit different. But for me, pre-owned men's clothing, my best time frame was always from right about now until tax time. So if you haven't already, get going, get working, because to have a good Q4 doesn't start the day before Christmas. A good Q4 starts today. We got to be consistent. We got to list great items. But I wanted to come to you guys and talk to you guys today. And I want to make sure that I choose my words wisely. And I think that, when we do take to social media, if you do have a YouTube channel, I have a small channel. I don't get a tremendous amount of views, but there is still an immense amount of responsibility when it comes to putting your words out there on a platform, because words carry weight, words have value, and words are very powerful. So I like to speak in fact. When I'm speculating, I like to let you guys know that I am speculating, because, these words that we put out to people, even if it's 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, a few thousand, 100,000 people, these words carry weight. And I wanted to make sure that I had my thoughts straight, that I had everything that I wanted to say situated and straight, especially about this subject, because this subject will most likely change the landscape of reselling as we know it. Is reselling going to end tomorrow? Absolutely not. Reselling has been around since before the Bible in one way, shape, or form. But will reselling change in what we know of it as today? Absolutely, 100% it will. Reselling has changed tens of times, maybe 20 times, maybe 50 times in the 15 years that I was doing reselling. And it's always going to change. There's always going to be a different iteration. But so long as we stay on the right side of the change, we can go out and we can make money. So every single time a piece of technology goes on to a new, platform or new arena or new way of doing things, what does it do? Every single time, whenever technology is introduced, it brings the price down. It forces the price down. Once upon a time, someone went out and bought 10,000 horses the day that Henry Ford released the Model T. The person that went out and bought 10,000 horses that day, they lost. The Model T was expensive when it was first released. They were probably thinking, hey, this thing is too expensive. We're going to stick with horses. But as technology got instituted, the supply chain and how they started manufacturing things, improvements here and there, that's what brings the price down. When you look at Tesla, stuff like that. When Teslas were first released, the price was sky high. technology, supply chain, all of that stuff gets better. The price gets brought down. Where like the entry level Teslas are, pretty affordable nowadays. When I was a kid growing up, if you had a desktop personal computer inside of your house, you were living in the lap of luxury. Where now, people buy laptops, iPads for a couple $100, where when they break, you throw them in the garbage and you just go out and buy another one. It doesn't even make sense to repair it. It's not even cost effective to do so. So whenever technology gets instituted, price always comes down. Whether it's manufacturing, whether it's buildings like this, when they institute new technology, maybe they can replace staff. Maybe they can utilize technology to do the job of 2 people, 10 people, 100 people. Get rid of staff, get rid of what is now bloat. Hopefully bring the cost down for the consumer, thus sell more items, and then they can make more money. So, reselling is no different. eBay is no different. Online sales is no different. But about a month or so ago, several weeks ago, and I wanted to take time to formulate my thoughts to bring you, true and accurate thoughts, not just sky is falling results. About a month ago, I actually saw with my own eyes, AI program that can create a beautiful listing in 3 seconds. And they took a photograph of an item, just like how we always thought it was going to happen, and just like we've always talked about. They're going to come out with a software that can take a picture of an item, and it will make a perfect listing. It'll price it. It'll have accurate title. The item specifics will be there. And it's going to create the listing for us, and we don't have to do, the large labor-intensive manual portion of it. And I saw that with my own eyes firsthand. And, they started out taking a picture of an item with a graphic on it. It was able to figure out what the item was, create a listing, and put up a sellable item in less time than it took for me to explain the process. Then they put up an item. It was a plaid button-up shirt. No graphics, no logos, no nothing. A plaid button-up shirt. The shirt was unbuttoned. It was in the dark. And this software was able to figure out exactly what it was, exactly how to create the listing, and make it a sellable item. This was a plaid item with no graphic, no logos, unbuttoned, sloppily hung on a hanger, not in a well-lit area. And this software was able to create a listing in 3 seconds. Now, what do the softwares do? It's what we all thought that they would do. It matches up the photo with another photo on eBay or somewhere across the internet. It pulls the information from eBay, and then you can copy that information onto your listing, title and item specifics, and you can submit the listing in 3 seconds. I saw it with my own eyes, and this is in beta mode, beta version. The real software, I believe, is going to be released in sometime in 2025. The software is out there now if people want to use it. They're not heavily advertising it, but when you can create a listing in 3 seconds, that kind of changes the game a little bit. And it's not just clothing, it's every single widget out there. So one of the other things that they tested it on that I saw with my own eyes was a drinking glass from Star Wars, a vintage one, 1978 or something like that. They took a picture of the back of the glass, and the glass is clear, you can see through it. It's not, a 2-dimensional item. This was a 3-dimensional item that the picture can see through. They took a picture of the back of the glass, and the software was able to pull up exactly what the glass was, exactly how to title it, exactly how to price it, and the exact item specifics. One photograph. The listing was created in less than 3 seconds. So what is going to be the result or repercussion of what we're seeing today? For a lot of people, it's not going to be good. For a lot of people, it's going to be fantastic. So for the people where it's not going to be good, why is it not going to be good? It's not going to be good because just simply taking a photograph of an item, matching it up with an item already on eBay, if the title is no good, it's still not a good title. If the item specifics are incorrect, it's still incorrect item specifics. So what we're going to see is we're going to see a lot of listings that go to eBay with the same exact titles, because it's going to pull from other listings of that particular item. So we're going to see a lot of listings that are exactly the same. So if your listing is ABCDEF, it'll copy the listing. A bad reseller or a civilian or someone who is just lazy is going to copy that title exactly the same. ABCDEF. There's going to be no difference. So the platform is going to get saturated with listings that are all the same title. The platform is going to get saturated with listings that have improper item specifics. And if there's a lot of listings that go up that have improper item specifics, that have all the same kind of titles, nothing to separate, nothing to distinguish your listing from somebody else, these are going to be listings that become very, very difficult to sell. Now, in addition to listings that go up with the same exact titles, listings that go up with inaccurate item specifics, just the sheer volume and velocity of listings going up is going to have an impact on the platform. So, if there's only 1,000 of a particular item, and now listing is more achievable, more attainable, and now there's 10,000 of a particular item, it's going to be classic supply and demand. If there's more supply than demand, prices come down. If there's more demand than supply, prices go up. So this is where a lot of people are going to get trapped, and this is something that you can mark my words here today. A lot of people are going to list more items on eBay, on your reselling platforms, and they're going to make more money. Now we hear this and we think, wow, this is a great thing. This is great. This is awesome. No. They're only going to make more money because they're listing more items. Now, are they listing more great items? The answer is no. They're just listing more items. They are throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. They're not doing it in a sense that can be sustainable long-term for their business. So what they're going to do is, technically speaking, yes, they're going to make more money. They're going to make more money today, but they're going to make like dollars and cents more money. They're not going to make any sort of real money that's going to move the needle in a sustainable, achievable fashion where they can now increase their business and make more money over the long term. Because what they're going to do is they're only going to list more items, throw stuff against the wall, but it's not going to increase their sell-through, increase their business at a proportional rate with the items that they are listing. So we're going to see a lot of this. We're going to see people on social media. We're going to see people in Facebook groups. We're going to see people on YouTube. Wherever you're going to see people, they're going to say, my sales are up thank you to this. My sales are this. My sales are that, which is great. But that is going to be very, very short-term success in the grand scheme of things, because what they're going to be doing is they're going to be listing a lot of stuff, and yes, your sales will go up, but what about the hundreds or thousands of items that they're listing every single month that do not sell, do never sell? What is the carrying cost for that? Can they afford to sustainably run that business where they have a tremendous amount of items that are not selling? So like if you have a 2,000 item store with slow sell-through, and now you have a 4,000 item store or a 10,000 item store with the same slow sell-through or no margin, you're just compounding your problem every single listing that you put up that ends up not selling. And that's going to happen to a lot of people, but they're going to get fooled in the short term by thinking, I'm making more money. And technically speaking, they are, but their costs and expenses are going to go up as well. Their carrying cost is going to go up. Their sell-through is not going to be sustainable, and they're not going to be able to stay in business. So you're going to see that happen to a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of people get fooled by this. So there's only a few reasons why people go out of business doing this. Number one is they source and do not list. That's number one. All of our money's sitting in our death pile. Number two, we source, we list, but these are items that nobody wants. So all of our money is sitting in our listed inventory that nobody wants. Eventually we go out of business because our cash flow suffers. The software will compound this for a lot of people. So there will be a lot of civilians that list more items. There's going to be more selection. The price is going to go down. There's going to be a lot of bad eBay sellers that list bad items again and more of them. And they're going to get caught up with sell-through issues, cash flow issues. They're going to bust out. If you are a good eBay seller and you know how to create a quality listing with the right keywords and take advantage of the software that can help speed you up, then I could see you, especially in the short term, really benefiting from something that can handle a large portion of the mechanical, a large portion of the physical part of the business. Now, is this going to be something that you can sustain long term as the market gets more saturated? Only time will tell on this, because what's also going to happen, in addition to, someone like my mom, she's 65 years old, maybe she lists 15 items a year. Maybe now she lists 50 items a year because it's a little bit more easier. To a bad eBay seller, they're gonna list so many more bad items. They're gonna end up clogging up the search because they're gonna reuse titles. They're gonna reuse bad item specifics. They're gonna have no separators, and these are going to be items that no one wants, no one is looking for. They might get lucky every now and then and throw something up and catch a sale, and good for them. For the people that are good eBay sellers, they're going to be able to double their business, triple their business without a lot of overhead and expense. There's not going to be, maybe this can replace an employee, maybe this can replace 2 or 3 employees, and they can scale that way and they can make money, which is great. But there's also going to be more listings from them going on the platform. But what's also going to happen with this, and this might be in the long term, one of the things that's going to change the landscape the most of reselling is you're going to start seeing places like rag houses. You're going to start seeing places like Goodwill, Salvation Army. You're going to start seeing VC, venture capital, coming into the space where they're going to start listing hundreds or thousands of items every single day because it gets so much easier to do so. So we already know eBay, or we already know Goodwill lists items every single day. That's not groundbreaking news or any information like that. But they're going to start listing more and faster and perhaps even better. We already know that rag houses have access to tons of inventory by the bale. Their disconnect has always been processing and getting it online, where they have to rag it out for 15 cents a pound. Even if those guys can get $3, $4, $5, $7, $10 per item, they're going to be printing money. And then we haven't even got into the portion of like a VC venture capital business who just wants to have, a large warehouse and 100 people on staff just zapping hundreds of listings going up every single day with a computer. Once all of these things start entering the space and there's more and more listings going up every single day, our prices, our bread and butter items only has one place to go, and it's going to be down. Because if there's 1,000 of this particular item in search, and now there's 10,000 in search, if you want to get your item sold, you decrease your price. The grails are only found at a clip or a percentage in parallel to us and what we can list. So like if you can list 100 pieces a week, maybe you're going through 2,000 items to find those 100. But now if you can list 1,000 pieces a week, maybe you're going through 5,000 items. So this is all stuff that we have to think about, wonder about, worry about. And as there becomes more inventory on eBay, we have to make sure that we are staying ahead of the curve and making sure that we are putting up the absolute very best listings that we can absolutely put up. Because the days of listing trash have been over for a long time. We cannot list trash anymore. The days of mass listing trash, obviously those days are over. So once so many listings get onto the platform, once so many items start getting onto the platform and flooding a platform, we have a responsibility and obligation and a duty to only list the very best items that we can. That's going to be undefeated. The very best items with the very best listings, with the very best price, is going to be undefeated no matter what, whether you have a software or no software. That's going to be undefeated. Now, eBay also has a responsibility in this as well, because they are going to see an increased, disproportionate amount of listings once these softwares go full scale, where they are going to have to match up the listing with the customer. And the customer is going to enter a search query just like they always have. They need to match up that listing with the customer in order to result in a sale. And if they can't result these items in a sale, they have a big problem on their hands as well. And it's going to be costly for them. It's going to cost them money to keep these items online. It's going to cost them money to keep these items renewing and relisting. It's going to cost them money to carry billions and billions of more listings that end up eventually not selling. And sure, we do pay an insertion fee, which is fine, whatever. But there's going to become a point where the platform gets so muddied up with so many listings that it's not going to be sustainable for eBay as well. Now, they can build out their server farms and do whatever they want, but if the listings degrade because people are just throwing up whatever they can throw up, however they want to throw up, they're just trying to mass volume, throw a bunch of stuff against the wall hoping for a sale, eBay's job becomes more difficult because they have to match the customer to the item. The customer's job becomes more difficult because they have to actually weed through hundreds or thousands of items that are not good, that have misinformation, misdata, in order for them to also gain a sale as well. So all of us here, we're going to have to fight for the sales. We have to fight for the sale by putting up good items, good listings, good keywords to attract the actual customer that's actually going to convert. eBay has to fight for the sale because they're going to have to make sure that the right customer sees these things. And then the customer has to actually find our item in order to pull the trigger and buy it. So reselling in its true essence has been around since before the Bible. It's been around for thousands of years. Reselling on eBay has been around for a couple decades. It's changed a lot, it's twisted, it's turned, but every single time it twists and turns, it gets a little bit more difficult. The barrier to entry becomes a little bit more harder, a little bit more higher. But this is going to be really one of the first times where the barrier to entry gets lower. And the barrier to entry to resell is already quite low. But if they do have softwares where you can zap a picture of an item that doesn't look great, no logo, no nothing, it can already tell by the pattern on the plaid, which is very difficult, what the item is, how much they should charge, what your title should be, what your keyword should be. That's going to be a game changer, and it's coming. It's already here. I saw it with my own eyes. Now, what's coming next is a software. If I was a software kind of person, what's coming next is a software where you can take a photograph of a rack of shoes. You can set your parameters on it, much like the booksellers do, where they can just scan the barcode and it will give them an audible beep to say this is an item you want versus this is an item that you don't want. There will come a time where you can set your parameters on your little software, take a picture of a rack of shoes, and it will circle and show you what shoes you should pick up in order to get what kind of profit you're looking for. There will be a software one day where you can scan the racks on a clothing rack and it will beep and it will tell you what items to pick up. Set your parameters. I want $20 profit. It's only going to beep when it sees $20 profits. That's going to come. That's going to be here. And then the barrier to entry gets even lower. They're going to tell you what you should buy, how much money you can spend. You take one photograph and they're going to list it for you just by itself. So then what do we do then? And that'll just be a different iteration of the same kind of business. So, you know, there's always been a twist and turn. There's always been, you know, things that we have to overcome, things that we have to do better. And with what's coming up next, I saw the software with my own eyes. The software will end up beating and burying some people, but also the software can be used, especially in the short term, to increase your business, increase your profit, increase your revenue. And the good resellers will get better. The bad resellers will end up getting buried worse and worse. And that's just what's going to happen when this comes up. So we got to be on the right side of the software. We got to be on the right side of improvement. And we got to be on the right side of doing things. So I hope that when I put out these videos, like I said, I wanted to take my time and gather my thoughts. I want to see, you know, how we can all make money in this business. It might be a lower profit model, more volume, more velocity, it might be only picking up Grand Slam home runs. Now, how are we going to find those when the people that have the items have the opportunity to scan them and see that they're Grand Slams more easier? That's a different battle for a different day. So, this gold rush, this game we're playing, especially on eBay, the arbitrage that we do have might not be around forever, but it's around for right now. So I think that we should take everything that we have, take the tools that we do have, double down on what's working, go out there and make sure that we're making money. And that's something that, I think is achievable and everyone is capable of doing. So I hope you found this video informational, educational. These are just my thoughts. The software is out there. I saw it with my own eyes. Is it a little bit scary? Maybe. But we can't be scared of change. We have to embrace change, and we have to give it our best shot. And if we wake up every single day and give it our best shot, we'll always get rewarded for that. So I do appreciate everybody for hanging in there. We do have a great community of resellers, over 2,500 that reoccur every single month. So they're in there making money. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time. We talk about building great listings, finding great product, exactly how to do this. And if that's something that you are interested in, we have 30 live calls per week. Everything is recorded if you can't attend live. I host a morning call every single day. I answer every single question in the group myself. Personally, it's not something that I set and forget. It's not like a passive thing. I'm in there fighting with you guys every single day, trying to help, try to give accurate information, actionable information every single day, where I'm answering every single question that's posted. And everybody, your success is important to me. If you want to list one item a day, I want you to crush one item a day. You want to list 20 items a day, I want you to crush listing 20 items a day. You want to crush world domination, I want you to crush world domination. So again, I hope this video brought you some value, gave you something to think about. Give me your comments below. But I saw it with my own eyes. In the dark, plaid shirt, no logos, listings done 3 seconds. Ball's in your court now. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me today, listening. Be great. Thank you.